Volkswagen Audi group dominating the hot hatch scene for many years. Is there another king on the hot hatch block? Today we're going to test drive one of their rivals, the Mercedes-Benz A35 AMG.
Where the hell is the gear stick? Oh my god, there it is. Let's try that again. Okay, so now we've been able to locate the gear stick, we can finally get things moving. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Life in the Octane. Today we've had the opportunity to review a hot hatch that's maybe a little bit different to our usual demographic. We're obviously predominantly VAG based, however we've been able to, we've had the opportunity to be able to get our hands on Miltech's development A35 AMG. Now this, the 2 litre turbocharged engine, it's a little over 300 horsepower. So you know, this is, if we were comparing it to the VAG range, this is a hot hatch to rival the Golf R and the S3. It's four-wheel drive. Now this is the Premium Plus model. The Premium Plus model features the Aero Pack, which is, you know, a spoiler, some canards, makes the vehicle look, you know, not just like any normal A-Class, makes the vehicle look that much more aggressive. For me, from the outside of the vehicle, it looks good. I mean, when Mercedes first released the A-Class, these kind of models, this kind of version, yeah, I was quite fond of them. I almost bought one myself at one point. Obviously not the A35 model, because the Lord didn't buy me a Mercedes-Benz.
Oh Lord,
so
won't you buy me
what makes this
Mercedes-Benz?
a nice place to be? I mean, inside we have stitched leather, door cards, dashboard. The actual dash itself almost looks like a big long iPad, so futuristic looking, really modern, really plush, and, you know, as they call it, premium. You know, inside the vehicle, if I'm comparing it to the likes of the Golf R, for me, this is a much nicer place to be. As we mentioned before, this is a Miltech's development car. Now, just listen to that exhaust note. I think what they've done, really good job of making this car sound exactly how it should have done from factory. It just sounds really good. Okay, so being a complete noob to the Mercedes range, I think the only baseline we have really to compare it to is the MQB, the Golf R, the S3. Now, first impressions of being in the car, as I mentioned earlier, the trim, you know, it's very premium. It's a really nice place to be. Now, for the drivability, one of the first things I notice is the throttle response, or rather the, you know, lack of. Very lethargic on the throttle response. I find that, you know, you've really got to bury your foot into the floor for it really to respond to you. Now, coming from a tuning aspect, it probably isn't really a problem. You know, a few calibration changes to the throttle maps. I think this hand in hand with, you know, the likes of a stage 1 or a stage 2 calibration would make this car crazy, absolutely ballistic. as I say, once you've got it going, once you've got your foot right in there, you know, the car is fast, the car flies. And moving on, you know, comparing that to the likes of a Golf R again, you know, we keep mentioning the Golf R, the S3, but you know, that's what we're familiar with, that's what we're used to. Now, the throttle response in the Golf R S3 I find is a lot more responsive than this. Now, when we talk about handling, we talk about the Haldex system on a Golf R. Is the Mercedes 4MATIC system as good? Yeah, damn thing. Every time I say Mercedes, it wants to talk to me. I feel like it's as good. In my experience of driving it, we've been driving it, you know, pretty heavy around the B roads, taking it into the corners, sharp corners. It holds really well. The car feels nicely weighted. It's very stiff, it's very firm. It does have some dynamic controls and the vehicle settings, so you're able to change it from sport down to comfort. When you knock it into comfort, obviously the ride is a little bit more smoother, and again the pedal gets even more lethargic. I keep bringing it back to the pedal. I mean, it's probably one of the things for me that's a little bit off-putting. If I had no intentions of making any sort of tuning, calibrations, changes to the vehicle, then it would definitely put me off buying it a little bit. Other than that, you know, the look of the car is very, you know, it's got that AMG look. I think that's where sometimes I think the Volkswagen Audi group lack is, you know, yes, it's a Golf R, yes, it's an S3. Does it always look that sporty, that racy? I think, you know, like the likes of the Civic Type R, I think that looks, you know, really, really Asbo. It looks, you know, a bit like the Focus RS. You know, that thing again, you know, it's all very sporty, very, you know, mean looking. I think this particular one, I think the aero on it, the spoiler, the canards, the whole sort of trim, the whole sort of outer package just makes it, you know, look mean, very mean. Now, the first experience of actually driving this, I'm told the A35 is the place to be, but you know, has a much larger price tag. It's probably more comparable to, you know, the RS models of the Audi S3, so like the Audi RS3. But putting it on the level playing field, the 2-litre turbocharged engine, a little over 300 horsepower. I'm just not sure. Is it worth that extra bit of money? I think it all falls down to the badge. Whether you really like the Mercedes, you're really a Mercedes fanboy, you really want that AMG. I mean, if I had the money for one, I would totally buy one. I think the experience in a whole, one of the things I do notice is inside the car, I'm not getting, you know, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe these have any sort of, you know, sound actors, any sort of artificial noise inside the car. I'm not getting that same, you know, the engine, the noise from the engine sounds, you know, real. It doesn't sound like added like it does in the Golf R. I've heard these stock with the stock exhaust systems on, and I think they're very lacking. I think what Miltech have done, you know, to capture that engine note, it just sounds so good. I mean, as I said before, this is completely stock, so, you know, one of the things that you find with a lot of modern cars, especially the sportier type, is they have the sort of impulse ignition, pops and bangs. You know, I think everything about it, you know, it's loud, it's raw. I think kind of an Asbo waiting to happen. But for me, you know, the experience as a whole in the car, you know, I think any car you talk about, any car you're going to review, it's going to have flaws, you know, and if they didn't, we wouldn't be in the tuning game. We wouldn't, you know, we wouldn't be able to improve the cars. We wouldn't be able to tune cars. We wouldn't be able to change the suspension on cars. We wouldn't be able to, you know, add aftermarket products to help improve handling, the transmissions to help improve, you know, the way the car responds, the way the car reacts. If cars were perfect out of the box, you know, we would have nothing to do. For me, is this perfect out of the box? No, I don't think it is, but I think it's pretty damn close. Okay guys, so the A35 AMG, unusual one for us here at Awesome, but as a whole, really enjoyable car. Had so much fun in it. Just like to thank the guys at Miltech for loaning it us for a nice little video. Any comments you have, anything you want to leave down in the comments below. I'm off to have some more fun in this.